What's up? It's me. Let's make some shit. I know I was dropped frames in the beginning, but we'll get it sorted out. We'll get it sorted out. Oh, let me move some windows around. Trying to figure out how I want to organize all these things and be able to keep track of stuff, because apparently I've had my mic way too low lately, and I keep cutting out, and I don't even realize it until well after the stream's over. Anywho, let me send out a mass text message to my peoples. The homie's got the back. Hell yeah. Oh, what's that tie-tie? Oh, goodness. Alright. What are we gonna do here? Wow. It's gonna start off like that. I see how it is. I don't know, I'm already tired. It's bad. I gotta do this for a while too. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and hop on Yield Pinterest and figure out what the hell. Alright, I already like this one. I'm gonna recreate this and then throw a fucking, like, train in there for some reason. I don't know, trains are cool, right? Make sure I actually downloaded that. Okay. Get it's all downloaded terribly. I don't think I actually downloaded it. Yeps. Trying to download this model of a train. Looks like a pretty high-res model. Should be pretty good. Hit it with that free filter and get it in there. There she blows. All right, let's go ahead and start the building process here. A little wider than we are tall. Now what I don't know how to do yet. What's up, Justin? What's it doing, buddy? Don't know. I don't even know if that's what I want. See? That turns it into a ball. It's not what I wanted. Man, this one doesn't come with any of the textures, so it kind of sucks, but I think it'll be alright. Let's try this though. What is up, Cho? Why does everyone call me Dad? Oh, maybe that'll work. Trying new things here. Rectangle rounding. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we hit the extrude. That's not even nice, man. Just because you look and are built like a toothpick or a pencil or a charging cable or a spaghetti noodle that hasn't been cooked doesn't mean everyone else is a dad bod. All right, come on now. So all I'm doing right now is just try to get this rounded rectangle. I'm basically just going to chop it out of this cube, and it's going to give me a room with kind of a rounded, I don't know, how is this one set up? That might give me the effect that I want. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Cho's got my back, Justin. Goodness. Alright, let's not get hostile now. Alright. So I'm actually going to take this and make this a little bit thicker so we have an actual lip. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to take this main box, turn this into a room, cut out this, we have like a nice rounded rectangular window. But if I do that and I throw the bool, which a bool just means you can either combine different shapes or subtract them. And the first object inside of the top object is the object that you're going to basically modifying, and then the second one is what you're modifying with. And that's not what I need at all. I need, there we go. So now you can see it kind of chops it out, but it didn't do a very good job. So what I actually need to do is take that out. Curious if I can't throw that in there. Oh, that doesn't work. So I need to back to my extrude, make it visible. We'll make this super long, and then we'll just chop out whatever we need to. But Cho, I found this picture, and it's basically this like big rectangular room with like a pool in it, and then outside is this desert scene. And I guess I can just throw it up here. And so I'm gonna do something kind of like this, but I think I'm gonna maybe get like a little floaty and put it in the water, and then I think the background I'm going to do some kind of like plain, I don't know, the whole grass and flowers and such that I've been doing. And I was thinking about putting a train in here, but I just thought of the floaty thing, and I kind of like the idea of having the floaty. No idea why. Like a little floaty with like a unicorn head or something. Probably because I've been seeing a bunch of stuff from made by Studio JQ, but that's for another day. Okay, so I have this giant rectangle. I think what? Oh, I have my other one here. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That is probably a perfect description of what this is. Probably something like that. Maybe that can be the theme. I can put maybe some other things in there. As if it was going to be like, I don't know, if I was going to make some weird fantasy Airbnb thing. So now you can see that this, oh man. You can see the outline here kind of goes in, but I still don't know that that's going to be enough. So we're just going to yank this even longer. Basically almost get it to where it pops out, but doesn't. Otherwise the light from outside is going to leak through there, and I don't really want that. I want it to have kind of like an actual feeling like it's lit like a room would have to be. And now I can throw this inside there, and now we have this nice cut out area inside of there. But I want there to be a lip, so it looks like a room and not like just a tunnel ending. So I'm going to take this cube and chuck this on the end of it as like a cap. And then I'm going to copy this extrude just here, and then I'm going to shrink it up just a little bit, so it's going to give us an actual lip compared to the other one. Add another bool, since bool, drop that down here, take these two, chuck it inside here, and pull that back out because we can't have that inside. So now if we look, this is going to be so hard to deal with. Save this real quick. It's in the DRs. What are we on now? DR 32? Right, it's DR 32. I'm glad you like it for playing COD. It's just like one of the free or like no copyright future base things. I should throw it in the link or throw it in the description every time I'm streaming, just to show where it's coming from. I don't know who actually made it. I'll actually pull it up real quick. So this is the playlist anyways. Oh, I guess it is by future base, but whatever. This is the one. It's got a decent amount of songs in here. It's not anything super crazy, but it gets the job done, I think. Okay, so now we're gonna take a camera and we're going to chuck this side of our room. 0, 0 out the position. Get rid of the rotation, transformation. It always puts it at this weird angle for some reason. Chuck it inside, and now if we hop in, boom! This is way smaller than I thought it was going to be. Oh yeah, we definitely can, bud. So now I'm actually going to take all of this and blow this up. This room was not nearly as big as I wanted it to be. Let's go ahead and render this out and see what we're looking at. So they're kinda just not. I don't know, let's add a environment real quick and see what we can see out of this. Why can't I see that? That is rendering correctly. Oh, not the octane light. That's not what I want. I want a daylight so I can see out of this thing. Okay. I totally muffed this. Let's get this cube out of here. I'm super confused. Oh, I know what I can do. I make my life so much harder than it needs to be since I don't do this a whole lot. I can take this cube, our main room, go into editable, select just the faces, and I can just get rid of that face. And I think that should give me the effect that I want. Bingo. Now this extrude. I wish I wasn't square. I kind of messed that one up. Kind of ends up looking really odd. Oh, let me make sure I get the dimensions of this setup right. I always do everything basically 4x5. That's what Instagram's setup is as far as getting the most of your image to show. So that looks wide enough, I guess. Then let's get extrude. I just don't know how I feel about that. This looks kind of cheesy. Maybe I don't need the rounded edges, honestly. This. Oop. Bingo. Don't want a huge edge on this. Scaling more than... Okay, that works. And then do actually need a... like I just did this so ass backwards. So then I'm going to get another cube, this cube, to, let's see, here. So I need this to be like a floor that takes up all the same space. And we're not going to see this at all. Oh. Am I looking at? Oh, oops. Slam that in there. Alright, so now I can take this and we can go wider with it. I also just all the way wide, and we'll just bring it up until it just meets our floor. I don't know exactly where. Seeing light come through. I think that works right there. And then what we can do, oh, so many steps here. Let's get, what can we get in here? I need another cube, honestly. I got the amount of cubes I'm making just for this is absurd. So that needs to be up. That, nope, I'll move it. We'll go deeper. Make it narrower. And we're gonna make it shorter as well. And then these two I need to stack correctly. And then we'll add a pool again. Drop these two in it. Boom, now we have a hole in our floor. Great. And a plane. Drop that down. Perfect. And Z forward quite a bit. Bump up the length on it. And width, we'll just kind of fill that space. We drop it down just a bit so that we have a clear defined area. Let's get that back as far as we can. Any more length on this? Exterior cube here, I think. Let's do one of those. I think that's gonna work. So now I can crank the camera back. Crank the camera back and get a nice long pool. And then this thing out. And bring it back so we're a little more even. Okay, there's our basic setup, and I feel like I'm going to want to, let's get everything added on here so we don't think about it too late. I want this one. Change our focal length so it's like we're basically just like swapping the lens out on a camera. Yeah, 50 mil. 50 is always a good go-to, even with a regular camera. Just gives it a good, like, I don't know, they say it's a pretty close approximation to how our eyes see. So if you you know, if the sensor on your camera is able to produce an image that's, you know, this big, if you were to look through that, that's pretty accurate to what you would see as far as distortion goes with your actual eyeballs, rather than say a fisheye where you can see, you know, we can see almost 180. So I know, like, an actual camera can do that if you have a fisheye, but then it blows out and is super distorted. So it's like the same lens distortion, if you will, and that's on a non-crop sensor as well. But let's go ahead and an environment in here. We'll turn off our daylight, and we're gonna start off with the classic go-to HDRI that I use, which is 356, and it's from this free HDRI website. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I need to start linking all these places where I get everything so you guys can all reference it at some point. Why is that lighting? Does that make sense? Alright, we'll do that, but then I also kind of want to like just get that out of there. So it looks weird that that's coming in that way, but I guess what I can do is go like zero this out. This will be our lighted one, and then if we copy this one above it, Octane takes whatever sky is on top, and that's the one that it renders with. So if we added a brand new black one, kills everything, or an empty one, I guess, just makes everything black because there's no HDRI information in there. So if we stack this one on top, and then this, just make this one visible. Nope, not both. Make visible. So we make the top one visible. Now I can adjust this and just get the clouds in there. So we're gonna make our own environment. It doesn't actually affect the lighting. This one is what's controlling the lighting, and this one is purely what you see visually. So I can take this one and make it nighttime if I wanted to. Not realistic at all, but you get the point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's get our pool water. A pool water. All right, let me name some of this. So this is our room. This one is the pool area. This one is our water. And this one is our front window. And I don't really need any of those. We're not doing the rounded corners anyways. But at least I know how to make rounded corners if I needed to. And get rid of that one. So what I like to do is just make sure I keep everything pretty named pretty well. I know I'm pretty horrible at it sometimes, but also to make sure it's at least like things that I'm not using aren't in there, because that's always a nightmare trying to figure other things out. So let's go ahead and make this water our ground for outside. And then we're just going to yank this thing way out here and just blow it way up. That should be sitting nice. Now we can see it outside. Make it wide enough to where you can't see the corners. I just about pointed at the screen. We just don't want to see the corners over here. If it sits there, you can hide it with some plants, but then you still don't get a full horizon out of it, if you will. And then we can go in and go ahead and add a landscape. Throw this out here, make it big as per usual. And I never like using the first one because it's too, I don't want to say it's too easy, but I don't know, if you don't ever make any changes to the stock things that you're pulling out of the software, it's going to look like everyone else who's not doing the same thing. So we'll leave that one there. That almost kind of looks pretty good by itself, but I do think that I want to get another one. Maybe like a long and skinny one. Not these like giant mountains that I'm getting. Well, that one's interesting. Maybe we can just crank that one over here. And pull that. Flat it out some as well. I think that should get the job done. You won't really be able to see it too much anyways. Once you add the fog and then you just have kind of like the vague idea of mountains in the background, it completely sells it and you don't have to touch it. I could honestly probably leave those and not texture them at all. And unless I was going to sell this as like a big print or something, there's not really a reason for it. You're never really going to notice at all. So let's check to see kind of where we're at. So we can't even see all the way back there. So just for the sake of rendering our grass, I don't even want, like, we can't see back there, so there's no point in trying to render anything out there. And then the corners are covered up actually by the mountains anyways, so we can get away with, again, as long as it doesn't clip right there, like that was just sitting there, that'd probably be fine, honestly. But I just like to take the extra step. I'm fine with a little bit extra rendering time that it's gonna have. Let me make sure I'm not missing out. Oh, there. Good. Man, to be completely honest, the Discord for the Bitbird family is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Everybody's in there just like so nice. Gotta hit him with a reply real quick. They're having a contest for the Create Together album art. Basically, they get a bunch of people to, kind of like a contest, I guess. And they get a bunch of people to make, well, a single song, or I don't know, say there's 100 people. 100 people make a song individually, so they end up with 100 songs. The community votes on the top 10, and then those top 10 make it onto this album that gets published by Bitbird. And then they did that before, but now this time for Volume 2, they're actually doing the album cover art as part of it. So a bunch of digital artists and I guess traditional artists are hopping in there as well, but mostly digital artists are hopping in there, and we will eventually get to submit our artwork for the actual album cover, which would be phenomenal. And there's just been, I don't know, I posted a couple things in there, and some people have been just super, super nice and really positive, and it's just a great community to be a part of. Oh man. All right, I keep my watch, the magnet on the band keeps getting stuck to my notepad. It's driving me nuts. But anyways, let's get back to this thing. I think this is kind of weird because it's like divvied up into like 2 sections, so I feel like I almost need a subject out here in the outside area and then something here in the inside, but I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just get there. We'll just get the environment made, and then we can see if we even need to throw anything in there at all. A couple rocks could do it. So let's grab our water. I'm gonna throw a displacer inside of it. And this is like the easiest way to make water, period, especially if it's not gonna be, you're not trying to do like a crazy simulation and it's just gonna be an image. Even if it needs to be animated, it's not even too bad. So you just go in and you add a displacer, you throw a noise on it. Make sure your water has more segments than 20 though. So I always, not always, but I go with 200 pretty often. And you need more the bigger that it gets, but also just make it work with however your computer can handle it. I mean, if your computer's bogging down so much because your one water plane has too many segments, just drop it down. Like, it's not that important. And if it is that important for the job that you have or the task at hand or whatever, I hope they're paying you enough to build a rig that can handle at least that much. So like that will work. That's passable. Like, it's nothing amazing, and people aren't going to be like losing their minds over this water texture that I've created, or this water pattern. I don't know what you'd call it, but we're like, I'm going to come in here and drop this to like 5, just so there's just a little subtle taste of, oh yeah, that's water. That's all I'm going for. Choke on a specular transmission. That's basically just the color of the light that's passing through it. And I want kind of like a gray blue. Boom. What do you know? That's like way too bumpy still. So if we hit 2, like there you go. It's not, it's nothing all that special. And if you change the noise to like wavy turbulence or turbulence, I don't know. Which one is it? Fire. Not a chance. Gaseous. I don't know. You can play around with it and see, and you know, whatever fits the feel that you're going for. Like 100, that looks ridiculous. Wait a minute, 1,000. That seems pretty good, and it'll just sell the idea that there's some water there. That's all it comes down to. Maybe even 1. Yeah, just make it Ripley. People will know what it is. And if you really want to get into it a little bit more, I can actually show you real quick. So if we do bump up the height a little bit, so like that's a bit much, but if you come into shading and you go to, I can never find it for some reason. I always, layer, there it is. And then if you click on layer, you actually get layers like Photoshop, and you get blend modes and all this great stuff. So then you can go in here and add layer, or into shader, sorry. Add a C40. Oh man, my eyes are bad. You can add another noise layer, and maybe this one will make, if you click on the icon, you can mess with it again. Make it bigger. But then on this one, we'll come across a lot. Maybe make this like 500 instead. So now we get more stripes. Oh, we might even go smaller than that. Yeah, I think that's good. Even, I don't know, I really like that right there. Just kind of these like stretched out horizontal waves. And then if you come to the top here, and if you hit overlay, I guess that wasn't the best option. If we go to multiply maybe, or add. You kind of have to play around with it just like you would in Photoshop. But there you go. So you can kind of see like some of these dark areas of this horizontal noise. You're getting some of that rippliness from that bottom layer. And then if you drop it all the way down, it gets rid of it. And so you can kind of fine tune it and play with it and get it to where you want it to be. You can kind of like blend a couple different ones together. But that's a lot more than what I'm wanting to do anyways, so that's perfectly fine. I'll just leave it at this point. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, get our good old just glossy white base. Make sure our specular is shiny, nice and white. And I think that works. And just chuck this as a base on everything. Boop. Nice and reflective. And I might go ahead and just add a bit of roughness, not actually get any scratches on it. I want this to have kind of like a pristine kind of look to it. And now we can start on the outside, I guess. Let's go ahead and get some multi-floor in there. I did figure out that if you go ahead and choose one that has all of the textures on it instead of just using grass, because it'll still throw in like all 5 or 6 of the potential multi-flora textures, like the petals, the stigmas, the leaves, so on. If you just do the grass, it just gives you a grass one. But if you choose one that already has all of the things, like I don't know, honestly, if you just pick any of the flowers, and white flowers are pretty common, or at least my use. For some reason, it still won't throw in the correct texture for a petal. Don't know why at all. Or grass, but at least there's less to have to try to like fill in and make up. But we'll go ahead and convert those. Get rid of these guys. And in our petal, I mean, it's already, it's pointing to the right place, but it's just not giving me the right thing for some reason. Because as soon as I do that, maybe it just was that super light blue one or something. I'm not too sure. And then we can come in here and throw load image. That's what I want. I'm all over the place. You can just choose like a blade of grass, and I like some of these like more washed out ones. And then we're good to go. So then I can make scatter. Set the scatter to surface. And if you're not sure, vertex, if I throw this plane for our ground in there, you look, where every vertex is on the shape, it just puts a node. And so you get this super uniform look whenever you throw things on it, which could be what you want. But for naturey stuff, doing the surface is better. It gives more random natural look. And then if you change the seed, it changes the position of all of those randomly. So we'll throw the flowers into our scatter, and there's just a giant field of flowers, which is great and all, but not entirely what we're looking for. So for the flowers, actually we'll just change this one to the long grass, and then the flowers we'll set the amount to say 100. And now we just get the occasional flower. And if we go to mode graph effector random, I pretty much just like to use one random for all of these. Get rid of the position because we don't want them floating around. Rotation, just set the H to 360. And I never understood what the HP and B is. Should probably know that, but I know H is basically your Y, so it'll spin it this way, and then P and B are either your X or your Z. I don't know which one is which, and it'll either rotate it forward and backwards or left to right. But I do know that H is essentially your X. So we can choose our octane scatter, go to effectors, drop in our random, and then now everything will just be randomly rotated along the X axis. So it doesn't just look super uniform. And we're already looking kind of good at the long grass. I like to always bump up the patch radius, sorry. It just kind of spreads out the grass a little bit more, and I think what I'm going to do is shrink it up a bit too. Just seems really tall. Patch radius a little bit bigger. And then the white flowers I think are all right. Honestly, they look kind of big too, because they're just like, if you compare them to the mountains, since they obviously butt up to it, they just look really big. Shrink them. Maybe make the grass even smaller. Let's get that. Where? There it is. Okay, well now we need a lot more grass anyways. So we'll just double our grass and see what we get. That can work, and then we'll just go into bridge real quick. Bridge is awesome. Just a bunch of photo scanned assets and really good textures. For really not a whole lot of money. First floor, sure. And with Octane, as far as I know, it always throws it in not as an Octane material, so you got to convert it and then delete it. And it will add it to whatever your last selected object was for whatever reason. But I do know you have to set it to glossy for some reason. Sometimes it'll throw it in as a universal and you can see it just does some weird stuff, or the diffuse. I don't know why. So gloss where it actually, and I think the reason is if you go into the node editor, not on this one apparently. And I hope it's not because I didn't get it in there correctly, but usually there's a bunch of plugins or a bunch of nodes that tell it what color to be, what image to display, what the roughness is, what the bump's like, what the normal is, and everything. I think those only plug into all of the slots when it's set to Octane, as far as I've figured out so far. It doesn't look like it did a huge difference, but I'm sure somewhere you can tell. So let's get And I'm already ready for good old. No, I can't be ready for depth of field because it isn't going to be visible. Fog is what I was trying to do. So for fog, I do the voxel size off the bat. A lot of people will tell you to just hide it immediately. I never do that. And I always make it pretty much as big as the environment that I'm trying to create. Some people again will say like, oh, you only need it in the area that you want, but for some reason it just leaves like a hard line, like where the fog is, that you can sometimes see depending on the lighting, and I don't like that. So I'd rather just have it in the fog, or my camera in the fog, and call it a day. So we come in here, obviously we can't see anything because it always makes the density of our, I don't know where this would be useful. Like the density of the fog is always at 100, and 100 is just absorbently high. So absorption is exactly that, the color that it's absorbing the light as, and then the scatter is once it bounces, what does it look like? And so for volumes like fog, your biggest color changer is going to be absorption. And then if you're using a VDB volume, which we'll probably use on the next graphic, that one, actually the bulk of the color comes from the scattering and the absorption. It's just like the thin wispy parts of the clouds. But we'll get the step size to be massive. And as you can see already, yeah, it should work. We already don't have too much to add on the, we should hide the volume from the viewer. But now I can go ahead and add just literally this dirt texture, and it looks just fine. And once we have another thing to focus on in there, no one's really gonna notice. And I actually need to say this is a different one. But we're gonna go 5 on specular and 5 on diffuse, as I'm probably gonna add a few things. But you can see that changed a little bit, and that's just because we went from path tracing, or sorry, direct lighting to path tracing. It just calculates the lighting difference. I don't exactly know what the direct lighting is, but I do know that path tracing is gonna be like your ray tracing. So actually, once a light, a shining light, it casts rays out, they hit an object, it bounces, and then that's what all of these depth is how many times that light will bounce and how many times it'll calculate bounces off of objects. So if you get diffuse depth all the way down, you can see it changes how it looks, because it basically just hits that thing and then stops, and it doesn't say it's going to light anything else. And then we bump it up, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, that light would actually bounce a few more times. Obviously it bounces infinitely in the real world, but we have to try to calculate that with our computers. And when you've only got one graphics card and 32 gigs of RAM and a Ryzen 5, can't do a whole ton a lot. I'm like, I was looking at, who was it? I gotta find the image. As I spill water all over my body. That was a good time. Who was it? This song is fantastic. I hope I keep getting notifications for dropping frames. This was almost an hour ago. Okay, so it was just when it started. Okay, alrighty. I'm just gonna keep this on here so when I say I like a song, I can pull it up and everyone can kind of catch a glimpse of it. But anywho, who was this? Oh man, it didn't save whose it was. Ah, I don't know. There was one of my favorite artists. He did an AMA recently, and someone asked, what kind of setup are you working with? And he said his main rig, because he doesn't just have one rig, is a slave as well. His main rig has two 3090s, a 10900K Intel CPU, 64 gigs of RAM, a 2 terabyte SSD, and a 10 terabyte hard drive. Then his slave rig has three 1080 Ti's, one 2080 Ti, a 6700K Intel CPU, and another 64 gigs of RAM. So this man's has 7 graphics cards, and 128 gigs of RAM. And I'm like, I'm over here with like one graphics card, a quarter of the RAM, a margin of the CPU power, and it still runs okay. So it does not like it requires a ton of computing power. So if anyone wants to get into it, like you certainly can, and at least get started. Once I get more into the animation side of things, which I definitely would like to move into, there's gonna need to be some improvements, that's for sure. Anywho, let me go. I was gonna use this train, but I really feel like just having a single floaty in here is gonna give us that kind of like desolate, isolated, not desolate, this sounds right. That kind of like isolated, peaceful thing that I was talking about not too long ago. Float, sure. I don't know what it's going to be. Oh, there's so many good ones. But since we're just doing this on stream real quick, we're just going to go for the free ones. And there's this just like ridiculous unicorn one that we're probably going to end up using. What do they call it? Maybe I can just type in pool and see what comes up under free ones. Oh yeah, sorry, Justin, I didn't see that until just now, but yeah, no joke. I mean, I know they only had 2, but that's like all they made. Oh god. Poor Nvidia. I mean, I was mad at Nvidia for a little while, but AMD had the same exact issue after they said that they weren't going to have that issue. So it's just been a nightmare. And I was looking at graphics cards today, and no one has them anywhere for a reasonable price. People are selling like 2 or 3 year old cards for like $900. Like the same card that I have that I bought for $450 brand new. I have a 2070. It came out, or I bought it right when the 2070s or the 2000 series Supers came out, so I got it for a steal. And I'm not gonna pay double the price for a used one than what I paid for a brand new one. It's absurd. And then I did find out on eBay though that there's some pretty good deals. I was honestly just even looking for like a 1080, and people want like $1,200 for 1080 still. Like, no thank you, no thank you. I will happily pass on that. But I think I'm actually gonna buy this floaty. I don't usually buy models, but this one is adorable, and the other one was just kind of whack. So let me buy this real quick. And we'll throw it into our scene. Oh, sorry, bud. My notifications get turned off whenever I'm streaming. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep, there we go.
What's going on?
Not too much. Just downloading
Not much. Just downloaded World of Warcraft.
Oh, nice, nice. Been a hot minute since I played that.
Yeah, I'm just having some trouble with it. I've got it windowed and I'm trying to window capture it, but for some reason Streamlabs isn't capturing it. It just shows like a black screen.
Huh. Do you have it set as a window, or like a window capture, or a display capture?
Window capture.
Oh, that's why. If you set it up as a
display capture.
Yeah, display will capture everything on your display, because like the software I use to make my artwork, it pops up windows all the time for doing materials and whatnot. And if I just do window capture, none of that shows up. it just captures literally that like one window that you designate.
So if I just have WoW window open, that's what Streamlabs is going to capture.
So if you have, do you have multiple displays?
What do you mean?
Like, do you have more than one monitor?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm just using one.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if you set it up to display capture, it should just default to the one that you have, and then it'll capture just anything that's on that screen. So if you do have any windows that you're going to have open as well, those will show up. So there's not like, don't be typing in your credit card
Yeah,
to anything. It should, yeah. Yeah. Huh. That's super. I wonder. Later, Justin. Yeah, that is super weird. I don't. That's like the only settings that I would know to mess with would just be the display capture, the window capture. I don't know. Unless there's some settings in WoW that would make it change one way or the other. I don't really know. I haven't used it enough to have like a super full understanding of it. What's up? Oh, on for the Twitch. Yeah. Those are all. Oh, I just saw those on there. Hell yeah. That's awesome. They look so much better than they did in my software. Like when I'm looking at them in the software, they look so tiny, and I'm like, that you're never gonna see it. But no, that's awesome. Uh huh. Oh, okay. That is super weird. So I wonder if it like saves it as a JPEG for some reason. Ah, that's super frustrating. That's super odd. What? I don't know. I'm glad you figured it out though, and I'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, there's like nothing special about it this time around. Oh, yeah, those are awesome. I'm super happy those came out. Super happy. Those are so sick. It's always so much fun to actually like see stuff that I've made out and about being used the way it's supposed to be used or whatever. It's a blast. Hell yeah. That's so awesome. Yeah, yeah. Oh, awesome. Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, send them my way. Tell them I want to do them. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would almost expect. Yeah, I'm honestly super, super happy with them. Yeah, whatever you want, honestly. Yeah, I'd be down. Do with this right now. Maybe just get rid of this. I think I need to throw you back into that. Swap the channel that you were on for my audio so I could adjust between my music and voice, but I think Streamlabs just chooses one desktop audio source and only uses that. And it's really frustrating. So I think this whole time on the stream it's probably looked like I was just talking to no one. All right, get back at it here. I kind of want to just like almost get rid of that backdrop that I put. Just make a win. Not get rid of it. Put a window in its place. Just kind of blur it out. Just nice thin pane of glass. Beautiful. Money. Oh, that looks creepy and tight at the same time.
Yo.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure you hear me. I thought something was going on with my mic.
Oh no, I didn't hear you for a while, so I don't know if you had been talking or not, but.
Oh yeah. Maybe I just wasn't talking loud enough.
See, I had to change the sensitivity on my mic quite a bit because it was apparently cutting in and out super, super bad. What's that? Hang on, let me bump your volume up. It's kind of a weird balance. I hate that it won't let me. I wonder if I can't add another audio source. And
Here we go. How's that?
that's good. It seemed like it was wanting to cut out though.
Alright, that's set to 200% output.
What's that? I think however your mic is picking up, I don't know if you have a noise gate on your mic or anything like that. I just don't think it's picking you up. Hmm. Yeah, it was. It was. Definitely was. Where? Trying to figure out where how I can get you to come through the audio separately from the music, because if I have you come through the same channel as the music, you're way louder than the music. But nothing that I'm choosing seems to be updating, at least real time on in Streamlabs. Anyways, God, not that big of a deal. I just like if I'm talking to somebody, I would like for everyone else to hear, so it's not like I'm just talking into the wind. I don't know, maybe I'll just send you the other one for now and I'll mess with it later. Maybe the...
I don't know why now all of a sudden my it's not fucking detecting my Logitech camera.
Ugh, it's a nightmare. I figured out that I had my camera, because I'm using a DSLR for mine, and I had it set up to... Alright, it was basically plugged into USB on my one of my USB 2 ports, and I would, like, midstream one of the times the battery died, as it does, and then when I plugged a new battery back in, it would not like activate in Streamlabs again, and I think it's because the USB 2 was just not able to handle enough stuff. And I spent like 5 minutes trying to fix this damn camera, and I had like 2 people leave out of the stream while that was happening, and I was pissed because I had like 6 people on at that point.
Damn.
It's like, way to blow that one. But I think it's pretty good now. It'll definitely still die, but that's just kind of what I'm stuck with for right now. Okay, there it is.
On. Like I'm plugging the camera into the USB and it's not doing anything.
Right spot. Glass. Tone down quite a bit. That one more time. Down. I can't read that at all. Oh my god. That. Sure. Set that up as like a cool light. Throw on an RGB. Make it pink. There we go. Not doing anything at all. Oh boy. That was too far over. That's a good time though.
See, I don't understand, dude. Like, I just removed the camera from my settings from my devices.
Mm-hmm.
And when I plug it back in, it it sets it up as an audio device.
Can you, or are you able to just delete it all entirely?
This is in Windows, just in my Windows settings.
So, I mean, it should show up as an audio and a video if it's a, I mean, might not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has before. It's a camera. Like, I don't get it. Let me just Google this shit real quick.
Oh, gotcha. I hate that every single one of them is like every single camera you use and every single mic that you use, it's all different. Shit, what the hell? What's this? Oh. Okay, that explains a lot. It's kind of cool. Let me make this one. Yeah, I can dig it. I don't know, I feel like I want something else in this. I'm not too sure what. Maybe I do just fill this thing with some more light. Bingo. Maybe not that much. I think that works. Drop the camera down. There we go. I still feel like I need something else. It's real empty. Get our depth of field in there at least. See what that's looking like. Oh, f-stop. That's what I wanted. Not the aperture. Where can I see this? There we go. Sweet. I'm just trying to figure out what else should go in here. Maybe I make the ceiling covered in plants. That seems like a rational thing to do. I don't know if these are multi-sided when it comes to plants, so. I don't even know how big this is. Oh, God. Yeah, it works. Change anything out there? A little bit. Super subtle though. We'll pass. Yeah, we'll pass on all that. About our ceiling plants. Until we get right. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these top lights. Don't need those at all. And I should have just kept those scatters. Hit it with the grass. Scatter. Surface. Grass inside there. And we got grass on the ceiling. Crank that a bit. Size of patch size a bit. Duplicate it. Change that one to the flowers. Oh, and the other one, decrease the size, quantity quite a bit. And we didn't delete the random, so we'll still use that one. Sweet, that's looking way better. I like that a lot. Maybe change the seed a bit. Sure. I'm curious what this looks like if we just flip the camera. Yep, that's how I'm doing it. I'm gonna go right in this. And have it just be like a half and half. What size is this? And I reset 0. Okay, that's good. Oh, don't know this size of it. I'm gonna put that inside and then 0 that out. Pull back out. Okay, that's easy enough. Okay. And see what happens if we get super wide. Super odd. But Yeah, no, I don't like that very much. Set to 4 seconds. And we'll lock the rotation here. And we'll kill it. More. Yeah, no, I dig it. What happens if we do just turn off our lights though? Hard to tell what's going on. I think I'm gonna nix those like glowing lights on the sides. That light up so it matches. Bit. Kill the lights a bit. And maybe we'll come back here and delete this wall. Is that room? Room, face, click, delete. It really doesn't give us anything, huh? Okay. Does that give us any extra light? Quite a bit. Color scratches a bit. Or let's go with a actual just general scratch texture here instead of a super smudged finish that I had on it. This one's just scratched up, and I think that lets in a little bit more light. Maybe expose a little bit more. Yeah, no, I like that. It's super subtle. super subtle. Cracking my knuckles. Okay, so this is our plants plane. And we'll water. And I need to animate this. So to here. And I'm gonna get rid of this one that I had set up. It's so long to render when it has to come through glass and then bounce around a room. Oh my goodness. So we'll set this to be. Nope. Oh, gaseous doesn't look okay. Maybe turbulence, I guess. And we bump up the height a smidge. I don't think it's giving us enough water texture. That should work. Back in here, loop period is the actual time frame that you have. So if you have 120 frames, it's going to run at 130 frames a second. Loop period is 4. And animation speed at something ridiculously low. Never actually ends up being all that slow. But then for our camera, I'm going to have it be. Yeah, we're going to flip this thing every so often. So we'll set this here. Set our rotation, getting an end that we're gonna match. 60. We want it to be, well, I don't know, I'm gonna say 5 frames before. Still keep it 0. These first 5 frames, we're going to tilt it back the other way a couple of degrees. And then That probably needs to be back like this. That. And here, we'll snap it all the way to negative 180. No, 189. Here we'll make this a nice even, so I can actually mark it, and I didn't set that. So that's gonna be negative 180. And what we should get is this stays here, and it like leans back and then snaps it around. We got 45 frames, that should put us at 105. Still need to be at negative 180. So flip it, and then we're actually going to go a little bit past 180 here. So that there, and this one will go be past it. So we get a nice little slam it in, set it. Slam in, bounce off. This one we'll have to set to 3 degrees in. Start the that one actually needs to be set that. That goes back to 0. Three as well. Yep. And 3 before. And it's 10 frames after, so here we're gonna go 3. I think. Yep. Okay. So I should get this nice like lean into it and then snap in. And then we'll slowly rotate and then just kind of hold. So there. Yep. I think that works. Must be a weird funky little effect thing. Cool. That kills that one.
Very quickly, Logitech C920 webcam working in Windows 10. Mine has just done an update, my Windows 10 automatic update. I think it was something to do with GDPR. And then since it came back, Logitech, my webcam was not working.
Let's see here. Okay. So yeah, what did you want to do for the banner? Okay, gotcha. Fire something up real quick. Actually, I'm gonna go grab some water real quick. Be right back. I'm back. I don't really know what to do next. I did just download a bunch of clouds, so could do something. Start messing up some shapes. Or no, don't know, don't know. Maybe we'll just do some big outdoor render. We'll try that. I don't really know yet. Get the camera roughly in place. Zero and zero. Up. Further. Back this way. And then we'll just grab I got a couple big rocks in here. We'll use this log too. Yeah. No, why not? Those two octane materials and get the other ones out. Did we really even make it in here? Sure did. Okay. There. Two, three. 33. Fire that up. And this. 500 block. Okay, render. Get. Set a render up. 2, 5, and 5. That's been working pretty well. Great for the GI. So let's go. Massive. What I want to do. I think it's got it bigger. Yeah. At all. know that it does. I don't know. I just kind of want to do one of these like monument sci-fi render thing, which is like a big ass rock and then just odd shape in there for some reason. Maybe I'll copy this. Make any sense at all. I do want to change this texture though. It's way too, I don't know, dirt rock. The color correction on there, we'll fade it out, make it more gray. Like down, contrast. Or the glossiness, that definitely needs to come up for sure. Relatively shiny rocks. That there, that there. That already looks cool. Just to shine into here. Wrong on so many levels. Sounds good, bud. I'll see you later. Yet. Let's get a good dirt texture in here real quick. Full bridge again. This time I think we'll go with this like foresty floor. Not this one. That one ends up looking super weird. But we'll try this. What is this? Some grass. Wild grass, chuck it on there. Not scaled correctly at all. I work really small scale, it seems like, in here, and it's kind of frustrating almost. I never know like, what size anything's gonna be. Oh, it's not good. Oh, I guess I'll just deal with it. Convert these to Octane materials real quick. Delete all those other ones. Scatter going. A multi-cloner is scatter. Ooh, why do I have an echo? That seems super weird. Where did it go? Oh, makes sense. Don't need this to be that. That's perfect. So that works, but I'm gonna post processing on them. We've got glare out the ass. What's that? Oh, I guess I might have. Is this a song? I think it is. That's really. Anyhow, what's up? Fill this space. Some grass. Always grass. Absolutely always grass. I feel like the height is not right on these. We'll just go that pebbly. This one. Sand with pebbles. It's a good one. It's a good one. Top of there. Almost kind of beachy. Not. And we could just throw in a cube. Sphere? We'll go sphere. Huge. And we will adjust segments, double those, and then we'll make this thing frosted and scuffed up. Particular image, going to roughness, grab our patches, choker, specular, be high enough. Oh, maybe not. 7 seems alright. But then copy that one, shrink that one inside of it a bit. That one will just make into glowing ball. Use, go to emission, black body, form it up, and throw it on that one. Be bright enough to get through there. So full emission. Crank it up a bunch. Where's bright? That make it bright. There we go. Okay, maybe we'll just get rid of that one entirely. And then we'll throw on a real HDR, I guess. Got maps in here. That works. This rock kind of ain't doing it for me. This looks real bland. Now we need to default this plane quite a bit. Not that many, I guess. 500, 500, default displacer. Put that in it. Just want to get some kind of texture on this so that we have waviness to it, I guess. Way too much. Could not be remotely enough though. Not a chance. It's gotta be large in charge. Uh, 6,000%. It's closer. Some turbulence. Better. It's more like sand. Or 10,000. That's with the seed a little bit. It's better. A little bit more natural. And we'll make this one a little bit. Oh, I never made that glossy. That'll change some things. Okay. This one, bump up the saturation. Don't need that. This window. That working kind of. Where's that? That's horrendous. Maybe we will big volume. See what happens. Just the generator there. It's gotta go. This one. Just crank out. Density quite. That's way too much. Kind of see the edge of the fog there, so that's better. There. 50. Maybe 80. Seems to be shrunk. Not enough detail on there. That camera way back. Way back. Yep. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Person? Oh. Yeah. Hmm, 10 maybe? Well, they're tiny. They're so tiny. It's a tiny person. Undo. Way more. That's still gonna be small. Crank that way up. Rotate. And shrink. Small people walking around. It's weird. Space for no goddamn reason kind of things. all those out. And we'll just chuck that on there. That did not work. So other textures first. Connect and delete. 5. Now we can get these two. Now we chuck it on there. Oh, gotcha. All right, no worries, man. Super glossy. Boom. I don't know. Super subtle. I don't like. Shut way out. Sure, maybe. Maybe. I mean, there's really not a whole lot you can see with this fog. I'm gonna just go less. Just get rid of it for now so we can like see some shit. Person doesn't look fit. They're supposed to be. Exactly. Here we go. Is that really what that looks like down? Yeah, it does. Oh my goodness. Looks horrendous. So this one, let's, yeah, crank that way higher. 10? Like we're still stretched a little bit. Way longer than we are wide on this. That's for sure. Yeah, I think that looks way better anyways. So let's go ahead and I don't know what makes these other ones look so cool. Maybe we will just go with a flat plane and then yeah, that looks way cooler. Okay, let's do that one, and maybe we'll just make this a little bit rougher. All right, we'll throw some scratches on there. Everything's gotta be scratched up, otherwise it just doesn't look as good. Doesn't look as good. Go. I almost never use dust. For good reason. Or like 4 and 12. That's what we had on that other one. If that works. There's like nothing on it though. So let's swap this out for one that has a little bit more texture. We get more of like a rough, actual messed up surface, because otherwise it's just reflecting purely a clean image on some TBH. It's got its own little vibe going on, but no. Let's try some of these smudges. I don't think I've ever tried these smudges. Oh, that gives like a nice, good icy kind of vibe, I guess. What happens if I get rid of the rock? Am I live like disconnect? This has only been live for 16 minutes. Huh. Didn't even know. Well then. I was like, I used up all my creative juices today, I guess. I was working on that create together thing for Bitbird, and now I'm just like pooped out of it, I guess, or something. I don't know. Really not thinking too much. I feel like that looks better. It's more of like a cave look. Sure. Oh, I feel like that's just not working. It's a little cliche. Maybe we'll change this one to what? It looks like we are loading, and we are. I like to clip just a little bit just to ensure that I'm not. I don't have any gap. I'd rather have it clip a little bit than not. Oh, that one's kind of cool. Where to put? I don't know. Spark something. You know, real turd with this right now. My brain is just not functioning at all for some reason. I don't know. I know I've got some skulls in here somewhere. Maybe I can just chuck a giant skull sticking out of the rocks. I can just do another one with a giant floaty. I think that's how I'm just gonna do like way too many with these damn floaty that I just bought. I bought it, so we're gonna use it. This one, I know, roughness option on there as well. So that is going to this one. This one ends up being this one, that one. These are nice little wrinkles and aligns everything correctly. Boom. Now we're gonna have this massive. I don't even. This is just kind of unacceptable. Maybe not that big. Now, do I have a model of someone like laying down, maybe? This one's just taking a complete turn. I have no clue. Yeah, that one might work, actually. Good work. Good work. Sitting. I need like 1,000 on this to try to even get it remotely close to the right size. Yep, I think that one might work, actually, for some god-awful reason. And again. Except I need to find, where are they? The damn eyelids. They're so bad. They're like the most disturbing things on the planet. So zoom in. Find them and it's your eyelids. Oh, you don't have eyelids. You're fine. Oh my goodness. Alright. Usually there's someone just like fuck ass eyelids on these things. And they're just like solid chunks that you're supposed to put something over the top of to separate them. And they just look terrible because I never do that. This is another one of this Burn song. It's a different one, yeah. This one's better than the other one. I should have got mine on there. What the hell? Camera in a better spot. Okay, not bad. Okay, like that a little bit. Don't know what to do about the lighting though. I think that is okay. Just actually like setting her hand on it, I guess. And this, it's honestly probably all I'm going to do is just make this spin. And so then I need a null just to make sure that that's actually gonna be dead center. So I feel like that is sitting dead center currently. Maybe just the rotation wasn't right. Yeah, that's better. This would be the dumbest thing ever. Like, to be completely honest. Oh man. And now I'm feeling like I want to put them in a box, and I don't know what I'm doing here. This is horrendous. Oh my god, that's bad. Do you see that? Just, what is this monstrosity? Oh no. Does that need to be at like 10 or something? Oh, poor choices, guy. What, like 15 didn't even, like, does 20 get us more? Definitely not 0. That's like horrifying. Alright, that's really not getting us anywhere. Shoot. That's rough. That's like really rough. That's just so much better. Man, that's bad. Maybe cover her in sand. You're never gonna see it. Poo poo bladder. Stone, wood. Just black. Same as the ground. Push it way out into the distance. Maybe I I genuinely have no idea. I need some art direction here. Where my people's at? It's an empty room tonight. Streaming to no one. And this looks ridiculous. I feel like I just really need to learn the tool better and I can come up with more weird stuff. Like how to rig things. That needs to be the next on my list. It's how to rig stuff, because otherwise it's just nothing's gonna happen with that. I'm gonna actually like animate like something walking. Can I go just back? Thank you. Thank you. You know, we'll just have like a wall of plants. Better plants. We'll call that wall. Yep. Multiflora, scatter. And can still go in here. That thing has been lingering around this entire time. Oh man. And we'll go with white flowers, because that's what we do. And none of the textures up in. Hate that. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know one whole bit. Not at all. We'll go with those. I like those. Boom shakalaka. And then we're gonna just drop our grass over everything else. I don't care. The rest is just gonna be green, and the rest is gonna be covered in grass anyways. So there's not really a purpose to having all these other textures that are just being meaningless and taking up space. So drop our wall into our distribution. Bloop. War on vertex. Let's hit surface. Much better. Kind of don't want a lot, so I'm gonna need to bump these. Oh. Okay, yeah. Maybe it will just be 100 once they're bigger. I think these need to be huge. 6. Yo, those are massive, bro. Oh hell. Alright, let me go ahead and get this grass in here. That's the other thing that I really wanted to do, was like mess with grass. I saw a video with Beeple when he was messing with the forester, and he made all these like crazy alien looking plants, and I had no idea that was even an option. I like that it gives like a grass patch underneath the flowers. But it'll do that, and when I crank this up, then it will also add just some other ones too. 700. Beautiful. Or we leave it kind of patchy, call it like 400. Maybe even just 330. And then we hit that with a clear. What does that do for life? Yo, it's crazy. That is hurting my poor little brain right now. Now, I'm so bad. Get rid of person. Floaty. I need to just. There you go. Leave it in there in case I change my mind again. I just want to let this render out and see what happens. Yeah, now I'm wondering, did that kill my YouTube stream too? Oh, streaming to both. Oh no, okay. Great. We're on both. Fantastic. Great. That took ages to render, and I feel like that may or may not look like complete horseshit once I actually render it out. So I'm gonna add some more lights in here. And I think that's gonna make me so much happier. Boom. 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 Here. Wider that way. Yep. Okay. Okay. Maybe hella wider. Yes. Trying to kill the light a little bit. Boop. Not as bright. Not as bright. Still blowing it out. Bloop. And now this makes me want to change our sky a little bit. Not a little bit, a bit. Ooh. Did I mess up the... Oh, hang on. That's way cooler. I'm so bad at this. I messed something up and then it ends up being like, wait. That's not what we're just pulling some Bob Ross shit right now. Just happy accidents everywhere. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm really doing this. I like the reflection more than actually having the entire thing be separate. No wonder I could have it way less intensive on the shrinking it a bit, and then if I kill some of the quantity on this thing, boom, it's still gonna like just murder everything. Because there's just like no light, and it's having to filter through everything, and it's just bad news bears, but it looks really cool. But I'm also wondering if I can't just get the same effect instead of lighting it through, if I can't get it just from lighting the tops and the sides. That's kind of what it looks like, and then it's just silhouetted in the middle, and you can't see anything about what it is. So we'll crank that one on. I think so. I think I'm gonna turn that one off, and then I think I'm just gonna throw like the white texture onto the wall, and I think that's going to save my life. Boom. And I can kill the specular. I think we're gonna crank this up to 12 and 24. Get way more detail on this. The floor that I have. looks a little too be more spotlighting. It was just a little bit too bright up at the top and the bottom, like it was just too even. I think I like that way. I'm gonna try something else as well. I don't ruin my ideas here. We're gonna put everything in a box. Just a big room. This thing, it does not need to be any. No wonder. Oh my god. Who allowed me to have this plane just being this long? Whoever you are should have told me to change that. Here comes much faster render speeds. But not as much of an improvement as I thought. Oh, but then the plane can also be reduced down to like 100 by 100. That maybe doesn't change it too much. I'm confused as to why this still isn't rendering very quickly. Cool. And I'm gonna... The song always has a like weird place in my head. Well, so now we can change this back to like 5 and 5 because it's like almost square. None of this is helping my render times. What? Okay. Anywho, let's get this box if sorted out. Well, now ain't this just some interesting things? A bit taller. This looks a lot like the render that I did earlier for the Create Together. A lot hairier though. The grass just looks hairy rather than grassy. Reduce the size of it a little bit. Much better, much better. This one will just make less flowers. Like that? I like how it's this weird shape. I also hate it. That's much better for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what makes that better, but this does need to be. Oh, someone chucked my art up on the internet. We'll say thank you as soon as I'm done here. Much better lighting. So now the magical thing that's about to happen is I'm going to add a bool to this and then punch a window in this top corner and have it shine some light. Except I really like lighting from the left, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna make another cube a decent bit.